community, and it also happens in the African American community and other communities alike. Unfortunately, 90% of us, 95% of us, spend a lot of time having to answer for the 5% of us. You see what I'm saying?
So hold on, I'm sorry, Ms. Moore.
I was going to say something that she brought up. In this high-stress job, police have to be right every single time. Cannot be wrong. No margin for error. But you got to remember, they're people too. They got problems at home. They got problems with their wives. Their kids are bad. But you have to remember that they're still people too. So what people say when you go to work, you leave that home stuff at home. It's not that easy. So you had a bad day. You had a fight with your husband. You had a fight with your wife, and you go stop the first person that morning. You might not treat them the same way as if you had a good morning. It's not right, but it's still a reality. So that's why it's so important that departments push mental health and care for the officers and the community to remember that that we people just like everybody else. We got the same problems, even more problems than probably used to because of this high stress job that you cannot be wrong. You're being filmed every second, and every little single thing that you do is going to be scrutinized.
The other thing that you have to remember is you get what you give. So if you have an attitude just because you think the officer is a professional, that they don't deserve to give you an attitude. You get what you give. So if you give an attitude, you can expect an attitude. So it's, it goes along with that level of how things can go. We'll start here, but if you want to start here, we'll go here. So you have to remember that.
Sometimes officers come up here.
That's what I'm saying. But sometimes if your action is a calmer action, it'll bring that officer down. Because sometimes you have to remember when an officer is responding, 9 times out of 10, they're responding to a situation. They're coming there ready to do something, ready to stop something. So if we're responding to those situations and we get there, if you're a calm person, then that will calm the officer down as well. So again, you have to expect what you get.
I feel like an officer should come to the situation open-minded. Don't come on 100 because you want to make me turn up. And I'm in law enforcement too.
And it also depends on what the situation is. You're not coming to a situation where guns are involved, kind of willy-nilly.
Well, yeah,
right?
It depends on the situation.
So they have to protect themselves as well.
But as far as traffic stops, once I already have attitude when they get off the car, then I'm like, nothing to do with me. I'm doing everything you tell me to do. Hands on 10 2. I'm not touching nothing. Radio's off. You tell me to put my phone down. Oh, it's down.
Oh, you're right. And I've been in those situations too, getting pulled over.
Yeah.
But you still have to remember, you don't have to bring it there. Leave it, yes, officer, no, officer, yes, sir, no, sir, and that's it. No matter what it is. And I mean, my husband himself, as an agent, has been called boy by a white officer. And he, it took him a second to snap, but he okay, yes, officer. You still have to keep that level of calm. Because if you do bring it up here, it's going to go up here.
Well, I'm going to just jump in law enforcement.
Come on.
Don't do that. You don't do that.
There she goes.
Come on.
I ain't speaking for everybody, I'm just speak for me. I have a different expectations of law enforcement. So I can't say I'm agreeing with you talking about if I got an attitude, he got it right. I don't know.
I
have a different
right.
expectation of law enforcement.
We're people too.
I know what the expectation of me and my profession is, and mine is just as stressful as yours. But I know when I'm in a situation with law enforcement, I'm giving holla. If I am on 1,000, I have a different expectation from that officer because of how I believe you should be trained or are trained in that situation. So I can't agree with you on that one, but I'm gonna sit back down. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Ms. Moore, you have a question?
I don't think anybody comes to work to be abused,
Right.
right? So I've been doing this for 22 years, and 99% of the days are good. But I can be honest with you, I don't respond well to people trying to abuse me, verbally physically, or now, some days I do have to say, okay, okay, relax. This person's tripping, but I have a natural response to abuse, as anybody would, right? If I try to abuse you or talk to you crazy, that's the thing, right? So my grandfather raised me to be what he identified as a man, which is old school. You don't let nobody talk to you crazy. So we're having to adjust to these things. Things are changing, dinosaurs go extinct, right? And I'm one of the old dinosaurs and I'm having to learn to change, all right? Because people, they talk to us crazy. We deal with it.
Yep.
And a lot of abuse we receive is because we have the uniform on.
Yep.
The uniform is protecting you from the regular person that's inside it. I can't say anything because I'm in this uniform. You know what I mean? Could you imagine having your hands tied and somebody just saying all kinds of crazy things to you, knowing that if you were a regular citizen, they wouldn't do it? That's something else that we deal with. It's the only job where people talk crazy to a person with a gun. If I was a regular citizen with a gun, people wouldn't talk to you some of the ways they talk to you.
You got it, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I still feel like we still have to remain humble. That's just like being inside of the Department of Corrections or Department of Juvenile Justice. Those inmates have to remain humble. So no matter what somebody is saying to you or whatever, you still have to remain humble
I get it,
at all
but
times. And on the side of the road, it's just, that's not where you handle it.
I agree with both of the
Everybody
ladies.
have a boss.
I agree with you, Bill, and I agree with the other lady right there, because you know what, if you stay calm, you know what, in a situation like that, you fight your battles in the courtroom.
Yes.
You don't
Yeah,
fight them out
that's
there on the
what-
street.
that's what I just
Because you're not gonna,
stated.
that's what I'm saying, I agree with you, ma'am, because you're not gonna win out there on the street. You win your battles in the courtroom.
Yeah. Everybody have a boss.
yeah, and I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just telling you the internal feeling of it. We
Because
think.
I've been called a nigger.
Yeah, I have too.
Dogs been let out on me. I live in Snellville.
Okay. I've been told as a police officer that I was driving Mr. because my partner was white. And I didn't like that either. By a black man. So abuse goes both ways. I'm telling you, is internally, sometimes we struggle. I don't say anything. I don't get the courtesy complaint or fly off the handle. But I'm telling you, that's something that we deal with. And I know that if I was in my regular civilian clothes, I wouldn't allow people to talk to me that way.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. So, we always talk about the Atlanta Fair because a lot of us work the Atlanta Fair each year. I've been working the fair for 15 years. And people lose their kids all day, every day. And we get them their kids back, their pride and joy. And people have the audacity to look us in our face and say, oh, I appreciate you getting my kid back, but I still don't mess with y'all. I still can't stand y'all. And although I'm man enough to let it go down my sleeve, like, you know what I'm saying? Over time, some people, everybody ain't built the same, everybody ain't wired the same. Some people that can make people frustrated. They can make people want to say, I don't want to be the police. You know what I'm saying? And I know we don't want this, but how many of y'all want to live in a world with no police? The purge, where you every man for themselves. Although that sounds like everybody say no, but then some of the people that's signing up to be police were scrutinized so much that it makes some say, oh man, I'm done with this. I can go be the manager at Quick Trip and get the same amount of money. So it ain't necessarily, a lot of us ain't doing this for the money to be rich. We doing this because we truly want to help our people.
Why are you doing this?
Why
Why did you sign up?
Me personally,
When you went into
when I signed up to be the police, I wanted to change the world. When I first came on, I worked out of City Hall East. When I was a recruit, I used to ride past Bedford Pines on Boulevard and Ponce, and I used to be like, oh, they ain't selling dope when I get out here. I'm gonna shut that down, right? Until I realized that everybody out there damn near got dope. And it ain't necessarily about the dope. It's about changing people's lives in the way that I can. Because guess what? As I'm bouncing from call to call, I got to know every old lady, homeless person, dope boy, Arab guy at the store. So those relationships were cultivated over 15 years. And now I feel more safer walking up Boulevard than I do in my own neighborhood because of the respect factor. Every time I go over there, it's gonna be somebody like, man, I remember that one time you looked out for me, bro. I appreciate that. Or the homeless guy say, hey man, I remember when you gave me them shoes. Them lasted me through the winter. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, you can't teach that. you can't put a price tag on it or anything. There's a lot more officers out here doing things like that good for the neighborhood than the stuff y'all see on TV. The stuff on TV sells. Police brutality sells. That's the type of stuff they rile us up with.
I think the most difficult thing when hanging around you guys and talking about your day is that citizens or regular people don't realize that you might have had 6 calls, and one of them calls you might have found a baby in the oven, and you had to go home to your family.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody got the nerve to tell you, "Thank you for finding my child, but I don't mess with you."
Oh, yeah.
And it's every day you have to go back to work. You have 5, 6, 10 calls, and you don't know what they're going to be. And so
It's a box of
a lot
time.
of times people, most of us think about traffic stops, right? That's a lot of our interaction with the police, but it's a lot of different crazy things that happen in our cities and our counties. And the difference between like our jobs as civilians and you guys is that it's some crazy stuff that you go to and then they send you to the next call. And because of the economy and when recessions happen and budget cuts, there isn't to me, in the research that I've done, I don't feel like you guys have the adequate amount of time to decompress and process before you go to the next call.
Oh, no.
And so the next interaction, when you say somebody's arriving on 10, they're arriving on 10 because they just saw something they never saw before, and you can't train them to know how to process. And only reason I know that is because I talk to you all. But the average citizen doesn't.
So then let me ask this follow-up question, for anybody. Based on what she said, I'm gonna get to you in a second, about even though, as a civilian, she gets pulled over, even if she's on 1,000, we still have to be a certain way. Based on what she said, in that sometimes because of what we see and deal with daily, there are times when we have to decompress. So then my question, follow-up is, then are we as law enforcement nowadays working under what some may consider unrealistic expectations?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Mr. Mike, what you said, when I asked this question.
I'm trying to repeat all that again.
No, the question, are we working on that? So what I said was, based on the 2 statements that the 2 ladies made, one saying that even though she deals with the police, if her attitude is on 1,000, we still are supposed to be a certain way, calm, cool, and collected, even though she's ramped up here. And from what she said, that even though all the things that we deal with as police, dead bodies, dead kids, or all those type of situations, we need to decompress or come down or have some type of outlet. So then my question is, now, in this day and age, are we working as law enforcement under unrealistic expectations from the public?
Yes.
Go.
So then, but you want us to be this way, even though you're that way?
Yeah.
Can I get my comment though?
Go ahead.
Y'all are superheroes, like you know what I do. So
What you do? What you do?
I do that
The
thing.
people don't know. The people watching don't know what you do.
Oh,
So tell us.
tell them what you do.
Okay, I'm part of that righteous corps called the Public Defender Corps.
Ah.
We get it from them. I love these guys. When we first met, some of them had their business from me because of what I'm doing and who I'm trying to defend. I get it from clients like y'all do, and they've seen it. We get the cuss out, and we can't retaliate, we can't respond. So yes, I have the same expectation of you, which is unrealistic, that people have of me, which is unrealistic. But that's what we signed up to do. And I acknowledge that it ain't for everybody. Because a lot of people tap out real quick, but the ones that stay have learned to adapt. So you learn to adapt, both of you can have you try. But at the end of the day, we got to try our damnedest to live up